Hey folks, you are tuning in to Not Another Options Trader, where I am in fact just another options trader, spewing my charts at you and screaming into the void of FinTwit. This week's likely mistake is UUP. So, whenever I do any kind of investment, it needs to have at least one of two key features. It needs to have a catalyst and/or it needs to have a good technical chart setup. Well, first of all, what is UUP? The fund is designed for investors who want to get a cost-effective and convenient way to track the US dollar relative to a basket of 6 other world currencies: the euro, the Japanese yen, the British pound, the Canadian dollar, the Swedish krona, and the Swiss franc. So why UUP? Why now? Well, there's a catalyst that makes this a good buying opportunity. It's the recent announcement of the Omicron variant, and it's making the markets very nervous. And whenever the markets get nervous and the markets take a dump, it's usually a good time to buy if you've got cash sitting around. First of all, the US is not seeing the same kind of COVID rates as the rest of the world. Here's a chart from Johns Hopkins University, and you can see that the US rates here are actually decreasing, while the big ones, the European Union and the United Kingdom, are increasing. If we look at the other countries, Switzerland, Canada, Sweden, and Japan, and we remove the big ones, they are also increasing as well. So there are some other reasons why I like the US dollar versus all these other currencies. As a country onshores more manufacturing or does more manufacturing onshore in general and has technological improvements, it actually increases the value of their currency relative to other currencies. And the US is actively engaged in this. You see on the news Biden's pushing for this infrastructure bill, which should get through Congress here pretty shortly. And the tariffs that Trump implemented, those 25% tariffs against China, they haven't gone away. We have the most amount of new tech companies here in the US, and we are in the US in these times of COVID more willing to adopt these new technologies if they make life more efficient. And whether it's an organizational change to a country or a technological improvement, any kind of efficiency gains for productivity for a nation will help to increase its value relative to other countries. So that's a bunch of reasons why long term I think that this UUP fund, the US dollar, is going to be performing well against other currencies, and why in the short term I think now is a good buying opportunity. But let's jump to the charts and see what this actually looks like. All right, if we look at the 3-month chart here, we can see that we saw a pretty big jump from mid-November to the 24th, with a really strong 7-year auction here, which saw this gap from 25.86 up to almost $26 up here at the top. And then with the Omicron variant announcement, we dropped down, and I actually bought in up here last week, but I'm going to take out another position now that we've had this retracement. But you can see here that we actually had a 50% retracement down into this 25.77 zone, and there's actually an area of higher volume that's happening here. If we shrink down this volume profiling here to just 5 days, we can zoom this out. Actually, let's go to a month. We can zoom this out a little bit and really see that there's actually a more solid support line right here that we'll be stabilizing at. If we go out a little bit longer term and look at the 5-year chart of where we think this can possibly get to, we see that we had a low in 2018. I'm going to just zoom this out so that we can see this effectively. We had a low in 2018 for the US dollar versus all these other currencies, and a high just after 2020 where there was a really big lack of confidence here with COVID announcement. We saw a spike and then a drop off over time as we got into 2021 with a lot of money printing. But we've gained momentum upwards with everything that's been going on internationally. We just kind of covered that, but I think there are just a lot of tailwinds happening right now for the US dollar's value versus all these other currencies to continue going upwards back towards where we were at the top. So if we look at where this could potentially go and do 50% fib extension, we go low, high, low, and we can see that it could potentially get back up and retrace up to its highs in 2020. And so I'm projecting that we get up to at least a 27 target and potentially higher. So this is where I think it can get to, and let's jump over and see what this actually looks like for what the returns would be if this were to happen with a contract we were to purchase for a year. So I really like this options profit calculator site. It's just a really easy way to see what your options could potentially be worth depending on how things play out. So we click a long call, which is the kind of option that we're going to play here. We type in UUP. We're going to get a price for it. It's going to load up 26.76. We're going to say that we want to buy the option. We're going to select the options from this list of contract. We're picking a January 20th, 2023, and we're picking an at-the-money option. So we're going to pick 26 bucks. We're going to pick the middle price and assume that that's where we get filled. And a number of contracts. We're going to say that I already bought 27 or 28 for our investment fund, but we're going to put in an order for another. Let's just say 30. The cost is $74 for one, so you multiply that by 30, and now the total cost would be $2,220. So we're going to calculate this, and it's going to come up with a list of returns here. And what you're seeing is percentages. So if we were to get up to that target that we had identified of 27.50, we can see, okay, let's just say 27 bucks, or let's just say 28. So if it takes to October or November of next year, we're gonna, and we get to 28 bucks, which would be awesome, we'd see 173% returns, which would put us at a value of $3,840. I really like this option specifically because it is so inexpensive. You can get in, for this option here at 74 bucks and see 130% returns. You could be looking at like $150, and so even if you're not really sure about this, $70, $75 option is pretty reasonable to get your feet wet here and see what this looks like. I think it's a great entry-level option for any trader out there. And I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to be using Investopia Simulator to track all of my trades, and you can see here that I already got filled on 11.26 for this call option at 83 cents. I'm glad to see that it went down, into this retracement pocket at 27 or 25.77. So I'm actually going to be taking out another 30 or so options here to get this total value up to about $5,000, which is 5% of the portfolio. This is a longer term play, and to see what this actually looks like of just putting on this trade quickly, just so that you can see us do it. Got a UUP, say yes, this is what we want. We are going to look at a call option of January 20th, 2023, and at the money call of 26 bucks. We would, click this one and say, okay, yep, we're selecting that contract. And then from here, we'd say, okay, I want 28 of these. We're just going to do market, but you should really pick something. You should do a limit somewhere in between the bid and the ask. This on this long options calculator, this came in at 74 cents. So we would likely do something like that if we weren't, we're doing that 0.74. We're going to preview that order, and then we will submit the order. This doesn't look right. This is 28. This is more money than we have. Why? Number of contracts 28. That's why, because we need to do this. Make sure that you do this as cents. There you go. And we'll submit the order. We actually need to get this a little larger to get this up to the $5,000. So let's do 30. Preview the order. Still a little bit low. Guessing and checking here. That seems fine. All right. So that should execute on Monday. If you would like to be informed of a trade when it happens, please follow me on Twitter at NAOptionsTrader. I will be posting my trades there. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe. And if you don't want to miss out on a trade and the analysis here on YouTube, please click the bell icon so that you can be notified when a video goes up. I am not another options trader, and I'll talk to you soon.